The Tweed Heads Bowls Club is proud to host the international series between Australia and Scotland back at the Gold Coast to see the second match of the first test. Welcome everyone, great to have you with us again at the Tweed Heads Club as this series unfolds. I'm Steve Rebillard for ABC Sport. Each test match comprises singles, pairs and triples. Last week the pairs was the first match of the series, and what a game it was. 15-10 to Scotland, a very tight contest. We're looking forward to today's singles. Let's see who's playing. And for Australia, the proud Queenslander Kelvin Kerkow taking on Scotland's George Sneddon. Ian Schuback is with me. And Ian, this series is interesting because it sometimes throws players into formats of the game that they're not used to. We've got Kelvin in singles today. How will he go?
Well, he should win, really, Steve. He's playing with his hometown support here at Tweed Heads. He's a former winner of the World Indoor Singles. He's also won the Welsh Masters Singles. Great indoor form. George Sneddon, better known on the outdoor conditions. I think he may struggle today.
Let's have a look at the conditions of play for the singles. And it's 4 bowls per player. They'll play 2 9-end sets with the possibility of a 3-end tiebreak if they share those opening sets. Shot clock will be running on their first 3 bowls only. There'll once again be no dead ends. The marker will respot the jack if it's sent off the ring. And Ian will be joined in commentary by Steve Boylan.
A good crowd in attendance to watch this match. A very important match in the context of this first test. Scotland have the advantage at the moment, winning the first rubber in the pairs, and now it's up to Kelvin Kerkow to try and rescue something for Australia up against George Sneddon. Kelvin Kerkow lives on the Gold Coast. Very familiar surroundings for him here at Tweed Heads.
Kelvin was a member here at Tweed for a few years, now playing out just south of the border at South Tweed Heads.
George Sneddon. Just a marginal correction required, and he's split the difference between the bowl and the jack. Kerkow just a little bit through with his first. That's a great correction, that is. Brilliant.
Very long step. His delivery stride. George Sneddon, a likeable character, George. He's been around a long time. The international level improving with every bowl.
Little grimace there from Kerkow. Perhaps he thinks he's a little quick. The players are going up to have a look at the head here. They're entitled to under the terms and conditions of play here after their third bowl.
Look at the line of bowls, Steve. It should be a good game, this. Both players have found the line. First end of the match.
But George, he's no slouch.
Runner-up in the Hong Kong International Singles. Quite accomplished. Needs to be careful here. He must pass the jack. He's got 3 short bowls, George Sneddon. Must be thinking to himself, if I drop short and Kerkow trails the jack. Oh, it's looking good.
Wants a piece of the jack. He's got it. Falls over, perhaps. He doesn't want the bowl to fall because it might push the jack back towards Kerkow's bowl. But gee, that was a fantastic shot from George Sneddon. Perfect line. Just a bit of the jack going past. Holds 1.
Well, Kelvin Kerkow's a difficult shot on here. He'd probably stay on his backhand, play a tight line, and looking for the edge of that bowl off the rink, just at a metre of weight. It's only 1 down. There's an open forehand on, looking for the jack. That's what Kerkow's playing. Trying to bring the jack through.
Down 1. He's close to this. Just hanging a bit wide. Well, some very good bowls from both players on the very first end of the match. We're in for a great one here, I'm sure, but it's 1 to Scotland. And George Sneddon is on the scoreboard. Kerkow brought the mat up a fair bit too.
A long way, Steve. He brought the mat up about 5, maybe 6 metres. It's rolled a 24-metre length jack. That's a great start, considering both players have been drawing to 28 plus metres. Tactics now from both players. Kerkow just trying to protect the 2 shots he has a lead. There's only 4 ends remaining. Happy to share the 4 ends, Kerkow. Win 2, lose 2. Should win the first set. Sneddon must win this end.
A wonderful bowl from Kerkow.
Don't think George Sneddon will win the end by drawing. So sooner or later we'll see some weight. Switching early to the backhand. Hoping to trail the jack.
It's a bit more swing this hand, as you mentioned before, Chewy, but...
He doesn't want to block the drive, Steve. What's he done? Needs the shot. He's blocked the backhand running shot. Kerkow, he'll keep clear now. He's got 2. He'll play perhaps to finish bottom right of screen. Look for a catching bowl, a metre or so away from the jack. See that angle of the shot bowl and the jack, and that's exactly where Kerkow's put the bowl. Deliberate bowl. Very effective. Well, not sure whether this is the right tactic. I think Sneddon would have been better off to drive. He needs the shot with this 3rd bowl. He's got to clear the short one. Problems. Well, Kelvin Kerkow, 92% effective bowls. That's not hardly wasted a bowl. Even George Sneddon playing well at 71%. No good praying that your opponent will miss. You've got to say, well, if he takes 2 out, I'll be 3 down. Draw a 3rd shot.
Stayed wide.
Well, that is 5th or 6th.
Well, George Sneddon won't muck around this time, will he?
No, Steve, straight up the line, jack or the 2. Kelvin does not like it. Full-blooded drive. He'd be very lucky, though, Steve, to actually take the 2 Kerkow bowls off the jack without moving the jack. So he needs the right-hand edge of the shot bowl as we're looking at it. Flat out. Well, controlled weight. This bowl will turn.
Well, he's got it perfect. That is a brilliant bowl. And then the dust will settle. We'll find out how many. It's at least 2. He didn't get the bowl edge, but he took the 2 bowls out. Jack moved on.
What a great shot from George Sneddon.
Well, you could be right. You know, it could be 4. He's taken them both out. It is 4 shots. Well, what a huge pickup that is. George Sneddon 2 down to 4 up. A 6-shot turnaround, and now a lead by 2. 3 ends to go in this 9-end set. Scotsman leads by 2. Pressure is nearly, well, there's a lot of pressure on Kerkow. There's a hard to describe at the moment. Australia are 1 rubber down, remember?
Well, Kelvin will be shell-shocked. He's a superstitious type of player, Kelvin. Absolutely shattered. He did not protect the 2 shots. Mind you, Sneddon played the brilliant conversion shot. He'd be grinning inside. Sneddon.
Oh, that'd take the smile off your face.
3 ends to go, Steve. 2 in front. Sneddon, really, if he wins this end, he's almost home in the first set.
I don't think he's too far away either. He gets inside that front one. Oh, well, that'll do.
He's grinning. Why not? Friendly little slide onto Kerkow's bowl, onto the jack.
That'll break your heart. 2 behind.
Kerkow's playing weight, trying to convert early. Right shot. Wrong side of the bowl. The crowd willing Kerkow on.
Kerkow might attack next one.
He needs a bowl behind, Steve. He cannot afford to attack and miss and go into the ditch.
Well, that's where Sneddon's going, round the back.
So that's good tactic from George Sneddon. He knows Kerkow will be reaching. Problem is...
How far is the shot bowl? Off the jack, please.
4 inches.
The reason Kelvin asked that, he knows now the shot bowl can go through the gap clean. So he'll be playing either controlled weight or a flat-out drive. Best shot, 3 metres of weight. Push Sneddon's bowl through the gap. He could make 3 shots. If he's narrow, could end to be up 2 down. Needs the outside edge.
He's in the area.
He's got it.
Oh!
Oh, what a shot from Calvin Kerkow. I'd like to see that again. That was brilliant.
Great bowl. Hoping the jack did not move. Poked it through the gap. 1 down to 3 up if you don't mind. Sweaty palms coming up here for George Sneddon.
I don't know so much. He's a couple in front.
Just heard Kelvin Kerkow say to Clive
Lean
White,
in front knocker and do 4 down the other end.
scoreboard attendant, he's still shattered from the previous end. Sneddon, big drive, needs the jack.
Well, Calvin Kerkow made a good comment. He said I had a front knocker last end and dropped a 4.
Close.
Will not turn on this hand with weight. Kerkow survives. He could even make 4 shots himself on this end. What a shot from Kelvin Kerkow.
Well, we've seen some wonderful conversions from both of them. He's currently holding 3, Kerkow. You can draw another one for 4. Now, we've had a match of singles. All of a sudden, last end, Sneddon picks up a 4, and now Kerkow might have a chance to get one himself.
Well, he needs it, Steve. 3 shots will only put him 1 in front with 2 to play. Looking for a full count.
That was good. It just seemed to hang off.
Drawing for 4. Wants it to stop. It's starting to get a stitch. Falls in. That will count. Sigh of relief from Calvin Kerkow. A bit of a wry smile. He's probably thinking, just kick him out, George. They're all mine. 4 it is. The crowd's probably still trying to work out what's going on here. Singles and 4s, nothing in between. Battle for 1 or just take the lot.
Well, we heard Kelvin say, Steve, he was shattered on 2 ends ago. How would he be feeling now? He'd be over the moon. He'd probably nail the jack now. 2 up with 2 ends to play on the first set. Now some self-doubts for Sneddon. Switch early, open backhand. Drops the bowl, prodigious wobble. He won't be too rattled, I don't think, Steve. If he wins this end, it's a 1-end shootout. Mind you, we can have a draw in this format for a set. Well, he's got the shot. Sneddon, what a player.
Well, he just got the feather off the bowl and fell in. His weight was very good. That was the main thing in that bowl. His weight was perfect. Now it's Kerkow. It's his turn.
You can almost sense, Steve, this first set will come down to the very last bowl on the next end. The last of 9 ends in this first set. Never wasted behind.
Kerkow. Last bowl was short. And this backhand coming up in this direction is a little slower than the other side. So he needed to make a correction with a bit more weight. Starting to get tired.
Well, 3 short bowls, not a good sign for Kelvin Kerkow.
How's that last bill shot, Bill?
The last ball?
Last bill of Kelvin?
Well, all those singles up front.
2 bowls.
How much? 50.
And then on the 7th end, a 4. And the 6th end, a 4 to George Sneddon.
The way this head is building, Steve, Sneddon could score 4 if he passes the jack with this 3rd bowl. He comes in on the forehand with his last bowl, punches the shot bowl onto the jack. Those 2 bowls bottom of screen can count. Kerkow knows it. He's got 1 left. He wants the shot. He also needs some protection behind the head. Right tactic. How much weight needs to fall over?
Now, George Sneddon, can he manufacture more than 1 out of this? He needs to try and...
Well, Steve, he can and he will go for it. Look at the eyes. He'll play forehand. Kerkow knows there's problems. If he plays this outside edge, moves the jack to there, we could score another 4.
Well, he certainly doesn't want to peel his own ball out. That's the danger. If he gets the edge.
2 rolls, Steve. 2 or 3 rolls of the shot bowl. Big count.
Jesus, I had that on 7 just before.
2 in front, Kerkow. Sneddon holding 1. At worst, he wants to make at least another one out of it. Not. 1 it is.
1.
So there is 1 the difference as we go into the last end of the first set. It's all going to come down to this last end. You might well recall, Chewy, I said on the 5th end, Kerkow held 2 and he had a chance to draw for 3. It was an absolute free kick. I thought, I wonder if that'll come back to haunt him. Would he rather be 2 in front, I'm sure.
Good news, though, Steve, from Kelvin's point of view. He will have last bowl to play on this final end. He's 1 in front. It's better than being 1 down.
You can put a ring around that.
A tie. Remember, we can have a tie, half a point each, if Sneddon scores 1 shot on this end. Nervous opening bowl from Sneddon. Kerkow, about a foot away, 30 centimetres. George switching to the forehand. Psychologically huge end this for both players.
Well, a draw's as good as a win, isn't it?
Well, it comes down to a 1-set match.
Well, not really. What if they draw the second one? Then we'll go to a shootout.
We've never seen that.
No.
Well, Kelvin needs to pass the jack now. Not drop short. Oh, the crowd are clapping. That's good. If it falls over, oh, great bowl, Kerkow. Now, Sneddon realistically must draw for the 1 shot only now.
Would you be going for it, though? I mean, it's hard to draw. You've got 2 bowls left. Do you think you'd
probably
try and hit it?
reassess the situation, Steve, when this one comes to rest? He's close. He's nearly drawn the shot. He has. If it falls, wrong way.
Well, it fell out instead of in. So close with this, and he wanted to fall the other direction.
Kerkow, he does not know what to play. I really think he's got the set, Steve. Stay away. Maybe a metre behind the jack would be good.
Well, there's big trouble for Kerkow at the back, so he's really got to get behind, I would suspect. Whoops. It's a bit of a nothing bowl, isn't it, Chewy?
Well, if anything, you would say, Steve, the jack would go maybe out to the left of screen. George having a good look.
Well, I suppose the big danger for him is if he kills it and it's respotted. Kerkow's going to have a lot of room.
That's the problem. He's already played a big conversion shot.
Oh, they stuffed the board up there on the
I think he'll go for the shot bowl, the short one, Steve. He'll play weight, looking to take the other bowl out. Spring the jack up into the air, hope for some luck. Too hard to draw. Attack.
Sneddon, last chance. Well, he's backing himself on the draw.
What he's trying to do is slice jack to the left.
Needs to have some legs. Well, he's not there. Kelvin Kerkow does not need to play his last, and that is the first set to Australia. Kelvin Kerkow, he picks up just one, but that's enough. 9-7 and 2 19 sets, the first one to Kerkow.
George just won that end, Steve, on a shorter length jack. I'm a little surprised perhaps he did not play the same 26 metres, but he's off to a flying start.
That make him the flying Scotsman, would it?
There's that Welsh Masters we were talking about before. Had wins over Andy Thompson, John Price, Richard Causey. The best bowls ever seen in Wales when Kerkow won that Welsh Master singles.
That's good enough for shot.
Represents both indoors and out. Two different associations in Scotland. The indoor and the outdoor associations. This side is selected by the Scottish Outdoor. Great bowl, 1 down to 2 up. A little bit of room, but good result.
Well, the jacks don't move that far when they're touched on the indoor. They're a lot heavier.
Steel jacks, Steve, a lot heavier. That's because of safety concerns in case a player has a drive and people sitting close by. Well, nervous one from Kelvin. Might have saved one. Still 1 down.
Sneddon, he'll go right out here. His bowls really swing back towards the jack. Now, from where he is out there, it'll come all the way back.
Might find the gap.
Sneaky.
Clever. 2 shots. However, Kerkow, very experienced on the carpet. He would expect to draw this. Had the line. Previous bowl. Just needs more weight. Well, struggling.
Well, to George Sneddon at the moment. Now, both players have 1 bowl left each to play. Kerkow, he's not worried about having a look. He knows what he has to do.
He doesn't want to look, Steve. 88% effective from Kerkow. Great bowling. Same with Sneddon, 73. Kerkow was at 92% early. Best result here, Steve, would be for George to count and stay wide of the line. Block the forehand draw. Kerkow would have to play with some luck in mind. This bowl could stay left-hand side of the line and just short. Well, it's past the jack, but it's 3 shots.
Well, crunch time now for Kerkow. He's not mucking around either. He knows he's just got to improve his weight a little bit.
Looks to have overcorrected.
He needs to slow down a bit. Still running, still running. Well, fell in. Now, how many is it? Is it 3? Kerkow looks shattered.
3.
What a great pick up for the Scotsman. 5 in front. Could it be a tiebreaker coming up?
Was far through in my last ball.
4 out of the 5 ends going to the Scotsman. That's why he's leading 7-2. And you dare say that he probably only needs to win 1 out of the 4 remaining ends.
Yeah, don't write Kelvin off though, Steve. He's playing well, Sneddon. Look at this. Nailed the jack. 3 days practice. Playing with borrowed bowls if you don't mind. you would have to favour George Sneddon in the tiebreaker.
Why?
Well, he could wrap up the first test. He's got nothing to lose. Kerkow's
But that's a wish. Why is he going to beat him?
I said you'd have to favour him. I didn't say he would have to win. Well, Kerkow slipping through 1 metre. Well, if George Sneddon picks up a multiple score on this end, that will be the set. Kerkow may not even last the 9 ends on this second set. 2 shots. This is where mentally have to be so tough. Kelvin does get a little superstitious. He's a brilliant player. No time for any self-doubt. Friendly rub. And the shot.
Oh, well, if you don't mind, that's a bit of a rice bowl because he got the rub. Bang, falls back and falls on the jack for 1 shot. Didn't he need it? He's not far away.
Sneddon looking for the same rub. Oh, handy, just behind.
Kerkow, change of hand now.
A few ends ago, Steve, both players were chatting to one another. There's not much talk on the rink now.
Not there, but you know, there is a shot or two on for either player. I'll let you tell us what's the best, shall we?
Well, George Sneddon, Steve, he's played 3 on the backhand, coming in from the right side of the line. No reason to change. Just play a narrower line, less weight. Just work off Kerkow's bowl, poke the jack out here. He could make 3 shots. So just to confuse me, he's playing to trail the jack on the other side.
Well, as you say, any contact with the jack is very good.
Slower and wider. He's just realised his mistake. Kerkow, he won't even play the last bowl.
You don't think? Well, he's got one at the moment, but I mean, any touch of the jack's probably going to be very bad for him, isn't it? I mean, can he afford to play it?
I think he must, considering the score, Steve, is 7-2. Not much danger coming in this side. Falls over, touch the jack would be maybe okay. He needs the shot. Fraught with danger on the backhand.
As you say, he can't afford to have any self-doubt. He's backing himself to draw another one here. Doesn't want to move the jack. Does not want to move the jack. Well, has he gone 1 down? Off the bowl, back to the blue disc bowl that belongs to George Sneddon. And that is another one. Well, there's murmurs amongst the crowd because this is heading for a shootout. 8-2. Perhaps they're thinking, and they're probably right, that this is going to go to a shootout. Well, not a bad start from Sneddon. And Kelvin Kerkow, and what does he do now? He's 6 behind with 3 to play. I mean, is he still giving himself a chance?
No, as you start thinking about the tiebreaker, Steve. This set
well, he gets 2 an end, he wins the match.
Well, I mean, obviously he'll be trying. See how this end pans out. But, oh, it's a great opening bowl from Kelvin.
Well, if Kerkow can actually draw this set, he'll win the match because he won the first set. So he's chasing 6 out of 3 ends.
George Sneddon, I think he's playing too well. Kelvin is the one that's actually shown a few signs of nerves. Look at Sneddon. Terrific bowling. 1 down, but very close. He's only had 1 bad end of the match.
Well, Kerkow, perhaps mentally, will be setting himself a minimum of 2 this end. At the moment, he's got 1.
Hard to give the shot away too at the moment. Draw to the bowl, left of the line. Close. That's okay. Third, well, belt against the bias. If it's not second, it is certainly third shot. Bob Mullins.
Close, but I like it for 2 down. George.
George Sneddon won't like that answer.
I don't think he'll go into panic mode with a lead of 6.
Dropping short. It's a sign of nerves.
Gee, beyond for young and old if Kerkow can make 3 out of this.
No danger, Steve. Draws to the bowl at 7 p.m. to the jack. That's Kerkow's target. Sneddon's nearest bowl. No danger if he trails the jack, really, but he should be drawing to the bowl, not the jack.
Here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, what a shot, Kelvin Kerkow. That is a counter. Well, in fact, it's the shot.
Wow, George Sneddon's heart rate has just picked up. He's 3 down. Woof. Looking good there, that right-hand column, leading 8-2. He could drop a maximum count of 4 on this end.
Go and buy a lotto ticket.
He needs to play a narrow line, Steve, and just overdraw weight, work off one of Kerkow's bowls. Second shot would be good. Cannot afford to be wide.
He's not far away. He's not far away. Here it comes. Here it comes. Well, great shot, but still down.
Might have saved 1 or 2 though. Was 3 down. Springs the jack, but stays up. Could be second shot.
Well, our marker, Bob Mullins, is holding 1 baton in the air. He think it's only 1 shot. Kelvin Kerkow's trying to manufacture a few more out of this. Currently, he's holding 1.
Well, we've already seen Kelvin, Steve, give the shot away once. He could make 4 shots. Oh, shake of the head. What he's saying to himself, how game am I? Can I come in, slide off that, and push that bowl over there? He would have 4. If he gets the outside edge, he's 1 down. Safer option, come in here, draw a second.
Gee, I don't think Eddie Charlton could play that.
Kerkow's got the ability. The risky shot's the forehand, and that's what he's playing. Going for numbers.
Yeah, I think right there, it's a good hand to play on.
Well, he's after that slide. I suppose if he gets a little bit of the jack as well, he could make 3. Well, he had the weight to get in there, but too wide. Now, is it only 1?
Yep, 1.
It is only 1. Bob Mullins, our marker, was right. Narrows the gap, but still, there is a big gap. 5 shots. Kelvin Kerkow is throwing the maximum length here. Trails by 5. There's this end and another to go, so he must score. Well, if he gets 1, he'd be chasing 4 in the last end, but he was setting himself to, I suppose, 2 an end with 3 ends to play. Only got 1 last end, so perhaps the target this time's 3.
Yes, and if in doubt, ditch to ditch, 33 metres, maximum length. That's okay if you draw the shot. Much harder, of course, to convert over the longer distance. The opening bowl, crucial. And Sneddon, he's playing well. Excellent correction.
It's a great game, that Hong Kong singles as well, and one of his teammates here, David Peacock, beat him in that final. Quite there.
That's okay for Sneddon. It's opened the gap up. Harder for Kerkow. He'll have to switch now onto his forehand. Well, he's backing himself to find the gap. Already given the shot away on one occasion. He's got the spring in the step. He must like... Well, needs to turn. What's he done? Oh!
Oh, I think he's got another one.
1, 2.
I think it's your one down, George. Close for two, but I think you're only one.
Well, it might only be one.
George Sneddon won't mind that. Second last end of this set. He's 5 in front. Happy to go 1 down.
He'd like to turn his own bowl as well.
Doesn't want to come underneath and slice the jack though, Steve. He could end up 2 down here. If he slices the jack and runs away, wow, he's probably 2 down now.
Oh, well, how many is it?
Kerkow has 1 to play, but fortunately George Sneddon has 1 bullet left in the gun as well.
Trying to eavesdrop on George Sneddon there. I think he just said it's only 1.
He's also saying it's so hot in here. 3 days of practice in cool conditions. The green is a lot quicker with the warmer air temperature.
It's about 25 degrees outside, and I'm sure the UK boys would be staggered that this is actually winter.
It's looking good for Kelvin Kerkow. Wonderful bowl through the gap.
Well, he hasn't given up. He's 5 behind. He needs a multiple score this end. Just found that gap perfectly. The secret was in the weight.
George Sneddon, if he's only 2 down, Steve, he's really shouldn't be too greedy. Go into the last end, 3 in front. That's not too bad. Kerkow is probably hoping that George will try some heroic shot and go more than 2 down. They'll be probably trying to draw on the open, wider drawing forehand. Does not want to turn either Kerkow's short bowls up.
It's not there. Well, Kerkow's given himself a little bit of a sniff. Some blood back in the veins, perhaps. He'll pick up at least 2, and 2 it is. So the difference is 3, and they get 4 bowls on every end. Can he come back from here? Well, last end of this match coming up, if we don't go to a tiebreaker. Kerkow must get 3. Now, remember, he won the first set, so if he actually draws this set, he'll win the rubber. 1.5 to a half. Must get 3. And that's not a bad one. That is brilliant. Pressure right on from the start. Sneddon, a little bit of extra pressure coming on him now. He knows that his opponent can possibly get 3. So he needs to ensure that he gets one nice and close. Just going to swing away a little bit. He's challenging Kerkow. He's saying get 3 inside that. At the moment, he's got 1.
Kerkow nails the jack again here with his second. George will be wondering whether she should drive. He's got to be careful not to spring the jack. That's worked out okay. Not intentional, but good position.
Now the 3-end tiebreaker, if we go to it, it's the winner of the tiebreaker, and ultimately the match is the person who wins the most number of ends out of those 3. Doesn't matter how many shots you get, you've got to win 2 of the 3 ends.
Well, that is a nervous sign. George Sneddon drops 2 metres short. Kerkow visualising a front toucher onto the jack.
It comes. Here it comes. What's he going to do with the jack? Well, he's moved it, but It's good enough for 2, and he's got a bowl left.
Yeah, down, Bob. 2.
Great shot. Sneddon, all of a sudden, a lead of 3, but the pressure's back on him.
He's got a dry throat, sweaty palms. He's narrow. Oh, Calvin Kerkow. He's back in the match.
Well, there's 1 bowl left each to play.
If he draws a 3rd shot, he's holding the match.
Well, talk about a pressure shot here. He's holding 2. As I mentioned before, Calvin Kerkow's won the first set. So if he can draw this set, he wins the match. That's good enough. He's holding 2, he wants 3. There's 1 bowl left for Kerkow, so he must get a result with this one.
He's got everything to gain, Steve, by arriving on the forehand. He's got his own short bowl coming in. Just needs 1 roll.
Well, he's certainly got the weight. Can he draw another one for 3? If he misses, remember, it's good night. George Sneddon is 3 in front. He's down 2. He's got a bowl left, and you can have a bit of 6 to 4 with me. He won't play it. Doesn't need to. And the test match is up for grabs in a tiebreaker. George Sneddon. If George Sneddon can win this 3-in shootout, they will win this first test, because they'd already won the... Gee, that's a good start. George Sneddon, that's brilliant. They've already won the pairs rubber, Scotland, Alex Marshall and David Peacock, defeating Steve Glasson and Rex Johnson. And now it's 1 set all.
Well, there's no doubt, Steve, mentally Sneddon would be feeling the best of the 2 players. Scotland cannot lose the first set, the first test. If Sneddon should lose this shootout, but he can win it for Scotland. Kerkow knows that. Well, best 2 opening bowls for from Sneddon, and Kerkow will open the shoulders here.
Yeah, well, this won't be short. This will be very quick. Bang. Missed. Wasn't far out.
Now, this is where the tactics come, Steve. As you just mentioned, the score doesn't count, the end counts. So does Sneddon go behind?
Absolutely. Start looking for spots. Remember, the jack's respotted. There's a spot a metre inside each boundary peg, and it depends what side the jack goes out. There's the spot there, and, well, that'll just about be a toucher.
Well, Kerkow's got no option. He must drive again. Worried looks from Glasson. Australian manager Robbie Dobbins. Well, Kerkow playing controlled weight, trying to punch the shot bowl onto the jack. Very difficult shot.
Well, Kerkow's got the other side of the green covered. They've got 1 bowl left each. This is all about tactics now. Steve Glasson and Robbie Dobbins looking a bit concerned.
Well, there is a chance, Steve, that both those shot bowls can go clean off the jack without the jack moving. So if that is the case, this bowl and that bowl are 3rd and 4th shots respectively. Sneddon must draw in here, away from the 2 shots, but counting a 3rd shot. Cannot cover every option. So another shot, maybe 1.5 metres behind the jack, and pray that Kerkow misses the drive.
Well, it doesn't matter how many, basically. I mean, it's the best of 3 ends here, so it doesn't matter if you drop 3 or 4 on an end. I mean, whether it's 1 or 3 is insignificant, really. Kerkow's trying to work out how can I win this end.
I'm not sure whether that bowler Sneddon's gone far enough behind, Steve. He loves to attack Kelvin. He will probably go flat out. He may try the same shot, backhand with weight, somehow bring the jack through to here. Very difficult shot. He'd need a solid contact on the front bowl. It's either that or flat out and hope.
Kerkow's undecided, doesn't know. Well, I don't either. Neither does my co-commentator Ian Schuback.
Well, he's had a flat-out drive. He's played backhand with controlled weight and now switching to the forehand.
Well, he's trying to get a piece of the jack, I dare say. Wants a piece of the jack to move it back towards his own bowl. Just like that. Oh, Calvin Kerkow. What a shot. If that's not the shot of the year, I'll give the game away. How good's that? Only chance, the jack clean. Got it absolutely brilliant, and that would break George Sneddon's heart. You got it all right, son. That's the first end to Australia.
I wouldn't have played it that way.
Kerkow, job's not done yet. There's still 2 ends to go now. If Sneddon can win the next 2 ends, he's won the match. So the party is not about to start.
It's certainly not over either, Steve. Whilst that was a brilliant shot from Kelvin Kerkow, it counts for next to nothing if Sneddon wins this end. Kerkow's a confidence player. I wouldn't mind betting if Sneddon draws one alongside the jack, Kerkow could run the jack into the ditch for the match.
Well, George Sneddon, he hasn't given up yet. Don't worry about that.
Well, the backhand running shot is already off of Kerkow, and he's probably thinking about it. Backhand, forehand.
How short's the last one, please?
Jack, the bowler's 8 inches.
I think Kerkow's probably really trying to compose himself again. The heart rate's probably up pretty high after that last ball on the last end.
What a shot, Steve. Played 3 completely different attempted conversion shots. Full-blooded drive, backhand controlled weight, and to win that particular end, he switched to the forehand. Got the jack clean. Ooh. Well, needed to pass the jack.
Well, I could tell you, Shu, if George Sneddon wins this end, we'll technically be going to a 1-end shootout. It's a best of 3 ends. Kerkow's won the first one. And Sneddon will have the last bowl this end. Now, wasn't that important on the last end?
Sneddon needs to draw a second. Kerkow will be looking for the gap on his backhand. If he could poke this ball across the line. Not quite well. Yes, maybe some protection. Kerkow will be swinging for the jack through the gap. Try to trail the jack into the ditch for the match.
Oh, well, he got that little bit of a rub off the front. But George Sneddon, I think, still got one. He has. It would have been a cruel way to get the shot off the front bowl.
Had it for a second, Steve, and
Different field.
just dribbled too far. Sneddon, he needs another bowl close. Kerkow has one left. He'll be attacking the Scottish nearest bowl. Look at that juicy drive for Kerkow. He's already decided to settle himself, come for a walk. Sneddon needs to block the drive.
Just to stay off the front.
That's okay. Some protection.
And if he grabs the jack, he's got to get it right in the middle and go with it.
Sneddon may have done enough. He's just given some protection to his shot bowl by turning Kerkow's short bowl over.
And Kerkow, he needs another screamer. He's got weight. Now, the jack will probably do, but he needs the bowl. Now, he's interested, I can tell you. He's having a good look. He's close to something. Well, it was close, all right, but only close. Kerkow can shake his head and George Sneddon can relax, but only for about 30 seconds as we go into the last end, because it's one end all. And the test match has come down to one end.
Good too. Yeah. Hey?
Well, the flags of Australia and Scotland in the background. This is it. Crunch time here. It'd be an understatement, wouldn't it?
First bowl, all important. Whichever player nails the jack first will have the advantage. Resting toucher, if you don't mind. George Sneddon, what a player. Can be rested out. Kerkow won't be too upset. He's not directly in front of the jack.
Well, he's certainly not short.
He's got 3 chances left, Kerkow, to retrieve the match and the test. What's he thinking? Block the shot, go behind, don't broaden the target.
He's probably thinking, what am I doing here? Oh, that is very good. That is very good, George Sneddon.
That's brilliant, Steve. Kerkow, we've seen the best conversion shot almost ever from Kerkow 2 ends ago. He's going to have to repeat it if he's going to win this match. Narrow.
Bob, is my bull jack high? First
The
one?
last bowl,
No, the first one.
your first one. Yeah, jack high.
Needs a third shot, Sneddon, Steve. Kerkow will be thinking drive. Would not want George Sneddon to have to play his last bowl with a metre of room to win the match. Well, he's going behind.
Well, he's basically put Kerkow on notice. He thinks Kerkow's going to drive, does he? Is
Well,
that what he thinks? Or is he just wide?
That's a poor choice. That's a nothing bowl out there. Kerkow rips the 2 bowls out. Sneddon will have to draw within a metre. I would suggest more weight coming up from Kelvin Kerkow.
Well, he's backing himself to make some contact here. Now he wants to sit the bowl of Sneddon's.
Will not turn at that weight.
Well, I don't know if tactically that was a good shot to play. I mean, Kerkow's got 1 left now. He's got to play a absolute perfect bowl again.
Well,
I think he should have attacked. That's my opinion.
Very easy from the commentary box, Steve.
It is. It's simple.
Sneddon's got a problem here, Steve. If Kerkow drives the 2 bowls out with his last, Sneddon loses the match. Kerkow has the best back bowl, so he cannot cover both shots. That's why his 3rd bowl was a nothing bowl sitting out on the right.
Well, tense times. Steve Glasson on the left. Australian interim coach there, Robbie Dobbins.
2 choices. Either draw a 3rd shot or get the best back bowl on the green.
He's going for the back.
That's possibly taking the drive now out of Kerkow's mind. He'll have to play the perfect trail shot like he did 2 ends ago.
Now, can he drive and get both bowls without moving the jack? Is that his only option?
Always say, Steve, the bowls are a much bigger target than the jack. If he gets the shot bowl next to the jack, chances are the other one will go. I think it's a full-blooded drive for the bowl. Doesn't look confident, does he?
Well,
hasn't made up his mind yet. Once he makes up his mind, he'll go for it. Mum and Dad look on. Joan cannot look.
well, this has been a wonderful match. I mean, the first set, Kelvin Kerkow 9-7, then George Sneddon 8-7 in the second. 1 end all. Now it's coming down to 1 bowl. Australia versus Scotland. Scotland lead 1-0.
Steve, he's going back to his favourite forehand that he played 2 ends ago. 3 bowls on the backhand. Last bowl on the forehand.
He needs to get some result. Now, if he misses, the test match will be to Scotland because George Sneddon would win. And what a wonderful match. Disappointment perhaps for Kelvin Kerkow, but the party is about to start for Scotland because George Sneddon has won this match. He dropped the first set 7-9 but he won the second 8-7 in a very tight encounter, and then the tiebreaker. 2-1 to Scotland, the singles match to George Sneddon, and the test match to the visitors.
George, you probably didn't think you were signing up for quite that much pressure in your first match.
It certainly wasn't. I mean, in the first set, obviously, Kelvin won that, and then I followed up with the second set, but in the tie-break, which really is the pressure side of it, the ball that Kelvin played in the first end when I lay 2 shots, I was only needing 1, unbelievable ball.
Well, he's had a flat-out drive. He's played backhand with controlled weight, and now switching to the forehand.
Well, he's trying to get a piece of the jack, I dare say. Wants a piece of the jack to move it back towards his own bowls, just like that. Oh, Calvin Kerkow. What a shot. If that's not the shot of the year, I'll give the game away.
You found yourself coming back a couple of times, didn't you, after dropping the first set, which was interesting because you both had a full count in there.
That's right. The 4 that I got, I had a chap in live a bowl to make a 4, obviously, as long as the white didn't move, and it came off for me. But the following end, I laid the shot, and Kelvin chapped in line the bowl as well, but also pulled the white a shade, so put me in pressure, under pressure, really, and lost the 4 again.
Well done.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
So 2 matches down in our first test, and Scotland have an unbeatable 2-0 lead. Nevertheless, we'll be back with the triples next week. Let's see who's playing for both countries, and representing Australia, it'll be Steve Glasson as the lead, Kelvin Kerkow second, Rex Johnson will be in his favoured skips role. The Scots will run with David Peacock up against Glasson, George Sneddon will follow, and Alex Marshall will skip.